Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at the US government's mysterious secret airline. What if I told you that the US government had a secret airline that flies thousands of people per day? But the average Joe cannot book a ticket on this airline. And it only goes to top secret locations most planes would get shot down for going anywhere near. Well, this airline really exists, and it's called Janet. So without further ado, let's get into the video. But before we take off, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too. I'm sure we're all familiar with the concept of airplane call signs. Every airplane has their own call sign. Sometimes these call signs can simply be the name of the airline. For example, United Airlines or EasyJet. And some airlines even have special call signs. For example, British Airways has Speedbird. But there's one call sign that puzzles everyone, even airplane aficionados. And that call sign is simply Janet. This is a call sign for an airline which isn't really an official airline. All of the airplanes have absolutely no logos and the planes hide in plain sight. If you've ever been to Las Vegas's McCarran International Airport, chances are you've seen these planes. Anyone can see them sitting in a hotel room, driving by, or flying over the airport. But Janet is not an airline that you can simply book a ticket on. You see, this airline exists for one reason: to ferry around the most secret government employees in the USA. Officially, the call sign Janet is an acronym for Joint Air Network for Employee Transportation. But many say the true meaning is just another non-existent terminal. This is pretty typical for the US military, as they're often quite cryptic and comedic. They have a fleet of around half a dozen Boeing 737-600s. And they also have a few Beechcraft 1900s and King Airs. All of these are in a highly secure compound in a very simple terminal. And this terminal is at Las Vegas's McCarran International Airport. Every morning, the parking lot outside the terminal fills up with hundreds of cars. The planes then take off, and then in the evening they come back. And after that, all of the cars drive away. So how do we know that this airport is owned by the US government? Well, if you look up the registration of any of these planes, it will say the owner is the Department of the Air Force. However, the US Air Force actually don't operate these flights. That is not listed, but we do actually know who operates this airline. This airline used to be operated by a company named EG&G. This is a highly secret defense contractor for the USA. But in 1999, EG&G was bought by the Carlyle Group, another big defense contractor. But then a few years later, in 2002, the USR Corporation bought that. But then that was acquired by AECOM in 2014. AECOM is one of the most secretive and largest defense contractors in the USA. So as far as we know, this billion-dollar company named AECOM operates Janet Airlines. But where do these planes go, and who are the thousands of people that travel on them every single day? Well, we can actually track these planes up to a point. They take off from the Los Angeles airport, and then after about 20 minutes, they turn off their transponder. Most airplanes are not allowed to do this, but seeing as they're going to secret locations, they are allowed to. However, we can infer where these planes land based on where their transponders are turned off. Their transponders turn off here, and Area 51 is right here. This is very mysterious, as according to the US government, Area 51 does not exist. But obviously from satellite images, we know it does. So it seems every morning, thousands of Area 51 employees get on these airlines and then fly to Area 51. Basically, it's just a quick way for them to commute into the desert. After all, you couldn't drive out there every single day. Janet Airlines are actually the only airplanes designated to fly into this area. This airspace is known as Restricted Airspace 4808 North. If a regular plane flew into this area, they'd be met by F-15 fighter jets and then shot down. But Janet Airlines fly into this airspace many times a day without any issues. So based on where their transponder drops off, we can tell these planes are going to Area 51. But one flight path from this airline that doesn't turn off its transponder goes all the way down to Texas. That's right, the planes take off from Los Angeles Airport and go all the way down to Tonopah Test Range. This is yet another top secret military base. However, instead of Nevada where Area 51 is, this one is in Texas. However, Tonopah Test Range is not as secretive as Area 51, which is probably why they don't turn off their transponder for these flights. This is where the US military tests out many of its planes and weapons. Other air bases where these planes are flown to include Plant 42. This is the site where US Air Force planes are actually built. Some flights also go to another military base named China Lake, and they also go to another classified military base named Edwards Air Force Base. So this secretive airline is pretty much transporting all of the people who work at places like Area 51 every day. But you're probably wondering, how can I get onto one of these airplanes without actually applying for a job and working at Area 51? Well, in 2018, AECOM, the people who operate Janet, actually posted a job application. This job application was for flight attendants for Janet Airlines. The job description said you need to remain calm in stressful situations and deal with tricky customers and long hours in the sky. To get this job, you need top secret government security clearance. But AECOM have since taken down this job listing, so we can only assume they found a flight attendant. But keep your eyes peeled on their careers website, and you never know, you could try and work at Janet Airlines. Also, if you ever take a flight from Las Vegas's McCarran International Airport, look out for planes with no branding. Janet flights all have one red strip and no other branding at all. They do this simply to hide in plain sight, but now you know what to look out for. Check out the poll in the top right corner and vote for whether you would want to work inside Area 51. Personally, I would, just to know what secrets are hiding in that base. If you guys want some more amazing videos, check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that coming up on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.